Hello everyone, Juxtaposition here. Today's video will be entitled The Empire's Sandbox. That's right, I'm referring to Swiss Bank Authority, which runs and governs and finances the empire. And the empire is best expressed by the three G's, GGG, Geneva Global Governance. You may know it as the United Nations. You may know it as the World Banking Group or the International Monetary Fund. You may know it as NATO, located in the House of Peace in the city of Geneva, Switzerland, with all of its obelisks and that's who runs the world. Now, Switzerland is a confederation of 26 cantons, and this is a this is where the devil demon must be rebuked in the cities of Geneva, being the single most important city of Switzerland, and then Zurich, the window into the satanic private banking, then Zug. Zug is creating the central bank digital currency and simultaneously creating cryptocurrency, which is a hyperledger system known as programmable money, or on the Juxtaposition channel, we refer to it as obedience tokens. It's not really money, it's obedience tokens, contingent upon full compliance. Insurgency is not allowed. The obedience token money credits, social credits, will be disabled should you be deemed a non compliant or enemy of domestic terrorism of the empire. If you're an enemy of the empire, you're a domestic terrorist. If you are if you are categorized as such, you will be living in a creek bed with no social credits and no tokenized power. You'll be disenfranchised, right? Thems that pick cotton are soon forgotten in the empire. And today I have found a video which I'll provide a link below to check out. It's well done. It's 20 minutes and 34 seconds regarding China Lake, which, as you know, is a dry lake in the Mojave Desert, 150 miles north of Los Angeles. China Lake is a naval intelligence weapon and warfare development center, and it is 1,100,000 acres of land mass, which makes it the size of Rhode Island. It is also larger than the county of Los Angeles, all told. It comprises three different counties within the state of California. It absorbs Kern County, Inyo County, and San Bernardino County. Then in the airspace above this 1,100,000 acres is approximately 12,000 square miles of airspace to launch missiles, test out drones, have drone swarm competitions and warfare battles, simulations, and airplanes, jet, turboprop, flying saucers, whatever. It's a virtual Area 51, but it's 100% inside the Swiss hamlet known as California. All right, I'm going to play this video for you, or you can click on it at your leisure, but I am going to play the video whilst I talk now and give you a little bit of a moving vista of what's out there in the Mojave Desert. But what you should know, folks, is this is not my first rodeo. All right. I'm a very sophisticated man. I've been on many Air Force bases, and I'm sure I'm missing some from my list, but I've been to Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's in North Las Vegas Boulevard. It's the end of North Las Vegas Boulevard above the Casino Row. I've been to Vandenberg Air Force Base, which has been renamed Vandenberg Space Force Base. That's in Lompoc, California, near Santa Barbara, in Santa Barbara County. I've been to Beale Air Force Base, which is in Yuba County, and that is on New Helvetia, which is Switzerland. That's right. Beale Air Force Base, which is home to PAVPAWS Direct Energy Weapon System, and the SR-71 spy plane, and the U-2 spy plane, and a fleet of KC-135 refueling jets, and a fleet of KC-10 refueling jets. I've also been to Mather Air Force Base, McClellan Air Force Base. I've been to Travis Air Force Base, which is building a prison facility called California Forever, which is a glorified FEMA camp designed to put 1 million prisoners into on 3 sides of the NATO base called Travis Air Force Base. It's in Solano County, home to the Zodiac killing. I've been to Camp Pendleton Marine West Coast Training Base. I've been to the Alameda Naval Air Station. I've been to the San Francisco Presidio Army Base. I've been to Hunter Fort Liggett, Fort Hunter Liggett, which is on William Randolph Hearst Land Trust property, home to the Esalen Institute and the Father Universera's San Antonio Mission, and an Army base known as Hunter Liggett. I've been on that property twice in my life. I've been to Coronado Island and been to the Navy SEAL training where Jesse the Steroid Body Ventura trained for a while. Been to Fort Ord in Monterey County, yeah, right in the city of Monterey. I've been to Camp Roberts, which is home to the National Guard. I've been to virtually every branch of the military, Air Force, Army, National Guard, United States Navy, and Marines. I have been to facilities, and I've been to others that I've even forgotten about in other states. All right, so not my first rodeo. Now, what annoys me as I've gotten older is the false pseudo, you know, celebration of our men and women in uniform. This is a complete fraud, and it's a huge, multiple trillion-dollar fraud. Fourth of July is a joke, okay? The Fourth of July parade, barbecue, and flyovers. Typically, we do have flyovers from either the Air Force or the Blue Angels or something of that nature. And that's disgusting to me. It really is. It's all about Dr. Strangelove, the theme there, also known as How I Fell in Love with the Bomb, the celebration of war, destruction, and just killing of humanity, the killing of humanity, both mentally and physically. You should know that since I have been to so many military bases, I want to tell you something here. Um, the men in the men and women in uniform do not run the base. Did you know that? Did you know that the people that we think of on Veterans Day and Memorial Day and the 4th of July, do you know they're not in charge? They get to be in charge of the gates, the numerous gates to get into a military base, because the restricted area has a secured perimeter and they run the military police force. They're hired as thugs to go around and arrest people if necessary. They have handcuffs and automatic weapons. They have radios. They're just like your local sheriff. Okay, but once you're inside the base and you are given a name badge and a real ID verified, and then you're taken to wherever you're supposed to go. In my case, I've been to restricted areas where the SR-71 was fueled and the crew was prepared for their mission. And then I've also been to the PAVPAWS underground pyramid facility for a group tour in an elevator and multiple floors, although they didn't show me the secret files, nor did they show me all the really important things. I was given the guided tour. That's what they call it, the guided tour, which is the tour where you don't learn anything. All right. But in these areas, you'll find that the elevators and the buildings and the hangars are controlled by non-uniformed contractors who work for Lockheed Martin, who work for Raytheon Missile Guidance System, Bell Nokia Labs, General Dynamics, Northrop, okay? And they work for TRW and Hughes Space and Communications, to name a few of the contractors who dominate the use of the land. You see, the only thing that's really going on at these bases is corporate military contract research of weaponry and tactics of pacification and control. That's the purpose of drones. That is the purpose of the COVID vaccine. That is the purpose of direct energy weapons, invisible weapons for a quiet war. That's the purpose of all of those things. And you should know that these people do not wear uniforms. I was escorted to the hangar for the SR-71 spy plane in December 1983 by two soldiers for the United States Air Force wearing uniforms with submachine guns and blue beret hats. And they walked me right up to a locked door, and the door opened, and the gentleman who was in a plain clothes with khaki pants looked at my name badge and said he was expecting me, and I was allowed in. And I turned to my two, armed guards. Are you going to come with me? And they said, no, no, we don't have security clearance. We'll see you when you come out. And they went out and waited in their trucks. Um, I thought that was extraordinary because I'm not in the Air Force, nor did I work for Lockheed, and yet there I am being treated as a, VIP, a senator or a governor or a president. There I was. And because I had security clearance for that particular evening, it was around 9 o'clock at night. And I got a private viewing of the takeoff of the SR-71 at about 10 p.m. that same evening in pitch darkness. And it was the most spectacular experience I ever had. It was exhilarating. If I did not have the earplugs provided to me by the armed guards, I would be permanently deaf. It was so loud. Talk about ultrasonic weaponry. The SR-71 can blow your brains out with its afterburner ignition, okay? And then it can throw a sonic boom from 17 miles up in the air. That can also disturb the heck out of your ears. It can cause ringing in your ears for 72 hours afterward. It can cause permanent loss of your hearing. All right, so I've chosen China Lake to be a graphic illustration of advanced research weapon development. And there's more than dust devils going on in this wasteland known as the Mojave Desert and Father Crowley Vista Point and aerial tactical maneuvers over rattlesnakes and bunny rabbits and the critters that exist out there in the rocks. This is a desert that you should think of in terms of dirt roads and rocks. All right, a lot of rocks. I mean, there must be a couple of trillion rocks out there, maybe more. It's not sand dunes. In this high desert, the average elevation of China Lake is about 2,300 feet of elevation. But there's places that go up to 5,000 feet, and there's places that dip down below 2,200. This is where the Manson family was put for a few days before they were arrested by the Eno County Sheriff and transferred to the county jail in Independence, and then the girls were taken down to the Sybil brand women's county jail in Los Angeles, where Charlie joined them 45 days later. Charlie Manson joined them being in the men's jail in the county of Los Angeles downtown. Um, they do not mix the men and women in the prisons. All right, so this is a home to NATO. This is a home to DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. This is home to Space Force development and advanced weapons research and stealth fighting planes and bombs and munitions and trace track and targeting. It's home to the Emperor's Sandbox, pretty much anything they want to do. They have over 2,300 buildings. They have 350 miles of paved roads. They have 1,800 dirt roads. Then they have infinity amounts of goat trails. And they have underground bunkers, and they have marine cargo containers. I worked at a company where we sold over 1,000 40-foot marine cargo containers out of the port of Long Beach, and they blew them all up with missiles and bombs at China Lake. All right, so I'm all done with the charade of Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July. Those are holidays for the fully augmented people. You know, the people that vote and think you have a democracy. I'm here to tell you that the amount of money being spent at these military bases, in particular, United States Navy, China Lake, is in the multiple trillions of dollars. And there's no money in the United States budget that can deal with level, that level of funding. It requires black ops funding, which be directly from Swiss bank authority. So it can come from Zurich, Switzerland, or it can come from Sand Hill Road in San Mateo, pardon me, in San Mateo County in Menlo Park, California. You can get it from any one of 100 different banking uh, authorities who all report to Geneva, Switzerland, and Zurich and Basel, which is home to the Bank for International Settlements, as well as the Union Bank of Switzerland. So you won't be able to audit or follow the money, as they say. Sean Stone said that to me once. You got to follow the money. Hey, Sean, you can't follow an invisible trail. Okay. All right. And if you did follow the trail because you have my kind of experience, it's going to take you to Zurich, Switzerland, Basel, Switzerland, Zug, Switzerland, and Geneva, Switzerland for the anthropology of how to use the money. Remember, sources and uses of money. The source of money, I'm just saving you time if you're a paid member. The source of the money is Switzerland. They're in charge of all money, all social credit. That includes fiat currency, digital money, and tokens, which is CBDC or cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency are programmable money. They're social obedience tokens, and Switzerland is fully in charge of that. And it's monopoly money. They have unlimited amounts of it. They have gajillions of money. So anyway, what I wanted to tell you is that the 4th of July and Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and for that matter, President's Day, those are days that your bank is closed. They're just an excuse for a bank holiday, so the bank doesn't have to deal with you. The bank considers you a peasant, a profane um, animal on the farm. They have no respect for you. The bank treats you like a farm animal, which is what you are, what we are. So I'm just here to tell you all the contempt that the banks have for us. I have in spades for them. That's the purpose of tonight's video is that I want you to understand that China Lake is one of the granddaddies of advanced weaponry for DARPA. But then so is the campus of University of California, Berkeley. So is the campuses where Noam Chomsky taught military applied linguistics at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Hey, so is Harvard University, Yale University, and Princeton. So is Stanford University in Palo Alto in Santa Clara County. That is a military training facility. That's the home for Victor Davis Hanson, was the home before him to Henry Kissinger and George Shultz and Condoleezza Rice is it's a place for propaganda, weaponization of politics, and the development of advanced weapons through Stanford Research Institute International and Rand Corporation, and how to pacify and control the profane, clueless sheep who run around the plantation. Them's that pick cotton are soon forgotten. That's the purpose of tonight's video. Do like and share my video because, as you may not be fully aware, I am censored through shadow banning. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye bye.